What if the sun just disappeared? No explosion, no warning, just a sudden collapse into a black hole. Earth is left in eerie darkness. Before we dive into the disaster, let's get one thing straight. Can the sun even turn into a black hole? The short answer? No. The sun isn't massive enough. Only stars at least 20 times heavier than the sun collapse into black holes. The sun, when it dies, will become a red giant, then shrink into a white dwarf. But for this scenario, let's say something breaks the laws of physics, and the sun suddenly collapses into a black hole. Now what happens next? First, let's bust a common misconception. Just because the sun turns into a black hole doesn't mean Earth will be sucked in immediately. Black holes aren't cosmic vacuum cleaners. Gravity still works the same way. If the sun's mass stays the same, its gravitational pull also stays the same. That means Earth, Mars, Jupiter, and all the planets would continue orbiting, as if nothing happened. But just because we wouldn't fall in doesn't mean we'd survive. Because the real problem isn't gravity, it's light. The moment the sun disappears, all light is gone. Sunlight takes 8 minutes to reach Earth, so for 8 minutes we wouldn't even notice. But after that, pure darkness. The sky would turn black even during the day. The moon? Completely invisible. It would be like someone turned off the universe's only light switch. And that's when the real danger begins. Without the sun's heat, temperatures would plummet, and fast. Within a few hours, most of the world would be below freezing. Within a week, Earth's average temperature would be minus 18 degrees Celsius, or 0 degrees Fahrenheit. In a year, it would drop to minus 73 degrees Celsius, or minus 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Oceans would freeze from the top down, trapping anything alive beneath the ice. The only survivors? Deep-sea creatures near hydrothermal vents, microbes living underground, and maybe humans if we're lucky. Could humans survive? Maybe, but not on the surface. We'd have to go deep underground, using geothermal energy for heat, artificial lights for growing food, nuclear power to keep things running. Some space stations might last a while, but eventually, resources would run out. And here's the real problem: we'd have nowhere to go. If the sun were gone, we'd have to find a new home around another star. The closest one? Proxima Centauri, 4.2 light-years away. With today's fastest spacecraft, it would take thousands of years to get there. Our only hope would be a generation ship, a giant spaceship where humans live for centuries. Could we make it? Maybe. But we'd need to leave soon, because Earth wouldn't be the only thing freezing. Without the sun, our entire solar system would change. Jupiter and Saturn's atmospheres would freeze. Asteroids would become solid ice chunks. Comets would stop melting, turning into frozen time capsules. The only thing left of the sun? A tiny black hole in the center of a dead system. But wait, would the black hole stay there forever? Here's something weird. Black holes don't last forever. Thanks to Hawking radiation, they slowly lose energy and shrink. A black hole the mass of the sun would evaporate in 10 to the power of 67 years, way longer than the age of the universe. But during that time, it would be completely invisible, giving off almost no energy. So, the sun's black hole wouldn't do anything. It would just sit there, forever. So, could this really happen? No. The sun isn't big enough to collapse into a black hole. Instead, in 5 billion years, it'll expand into a red giant. Then, it'll shrink into a white dwarf, but it will never turn into a black hole. Still, if the sun ever did collapse into darkness, life as we know it would end forever. So, let's be grateful for the sun, because without it, we wouldn't be here at all. For more videos like this, visit and subscribe to Knowledge Hub.